Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to She Creates Studio, my little corner of creativity. As you can see, we're starting with a fresh set of blank nails, and here are all the materials I'll be using for today's design. I've got gel polishes, charms, rhinestones, and all of the colorful supplies that are about to bring this set to life. One thing you'll notice about this project is there are a lot of colors involved, which honestly made me so excited to create this set. Now that I've started laying down the base colors, let me tell you what inspired today's design. I came across this image on Pinterest and immediately fell in love with it. The colors were bright, bold, and playful, and it instantly gave me those nostalgic Rugrat vibes. I've always loved that cartoon style, and something about the image just made me want to challenge myself creatively. I knew going into this I was stepping outside of my comfort zone. Character art is not something I do often, and this is only my second time attempting a character design. To be honest, I was a little nervous. Lately, I've been trying to push myself and try to do things that feel intimidating. Instead of sticking to what I already know, sometimes the only way to grow is to give yourself permission to try, even if you're not completely confident. So that's exactly what I decided to do with this set. Alright, now we're getting into the first nail design, which is the 90s kid nail. This nail ended up being more challenging than I expected because writing on a nail is always harder than it looks. Trying to fit the words 90s kids onto such a small space while making everything readable definitely tested my patience. The biggest challenge was figuring out the spacing. Every letter matters when you're working on a nail this size, and once you start running out of room, there's really no place to go. But thankfully, it came together in the end. Next, I'm working on the simpler nails in the set, which would be the white nails with the colorful paint splatters. Out of all the nails I created for the design, these were probably the easiest. Sometimes it's nice to have a simpler accent nail mixed in with all of the detailed work because it helps balance everything out. Even though it was simple, I think the bright colors still help tie it into the overall theme perfectly. Now we're moving into what ended up being my favorite nail in the entire set, the Rugrat sign nail. I absolutely loved creating this one. The background colors, the little details, the pop of yellow, blue, and purple. It was just so much fun watching it come together. Now, writing the word Rugrat was definitely another challenge. If you've ever tried writing tiny letters on a nail, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But once I got the sign completed and started adding all the surrounding details, I really started getting excited about how the set was going to come together. If I had to choose one favorite nail from this entire set, this would probably be it. For this nail, I wanted something playful and colorful, so I created a pink nail with multicolored polka dots, added a 3D rainbow and a cloud. Honestly, this nail was so much fun to make. Creating the rainbow ended up being one of my favorite parts because I don't get to play with the 3D elements like that very often. It actually gave me a lot of ideas for future designs and different ways I can incorporate more texture and dimension into my nail sets. As I continued working on the rest of the set, one thing I noticed was how much I was enjoying all the different accent nails. There really weren't many plain nails in this design. Every nail had its own personality and its own little moment, which made the set feel really fun and exciting from start to finish. I also got to use some flower charms that I've had sitting in my collection for a while. Believe it or not, this is actually my first time using them. I've had them forever, but never found the right project for them until now. And now that I finally use them, I completely understand why people love them so much. They're beautiful, and I already have ideas for future sets where I can use them again. Now we're getting into the nail that made me the most nervous to create, the Cynthia nail. This was definitely the biggest challenge of the entire set. Drawing faces is still very new for me, and I spent a lot of time looking back and forth between my inspiration image and the nail, trying to figure out where everything should go. The eyes were probably the hardest part. Trying to get the placement right, making sure everything looked balanced, and figuring out the proportions took a lot more effort than I expected. The eyebrows gave me trouble too. Oh my goodness. I actually had to redo them several times before I was happy enough to keep moving forward. And if I'm being completely honest, I don't think the face turned out perfectly at all. There are definitely things I would change if I had to do it again, but that's also part of learning. The fact that I even attempted it is something that I'm proud of. A few months ago, I probably would have talked myself out of trying something this detailed altogether. This set reminded me that growth doesn't always look perfect. Sometimes growth looks like trying something new, making mistakes, learning from them, and continuing anyways. As I started putting all of the nails together, I could finally see the vision coming to life. All of the bright colors, the playful details, the charms, the rhinestones, the Rugrat inspired elements, and even the character nail all started working together as one complete design. And honestly, that's one of my favorite parts of creating nail sets. There always comes a moment where everything finally clicks and you see the vision that was in your head become a reality. This project definitely pushed me creatively, but I also am reminded how much I enjoy experimenting and trying new things. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments which nail was your favorite. Was it the Rugrat sign nail, the Cynthia nail, the rainbow nail, or one of the other accent nails? And here's the finished set. Don't forget to like and subscribe and join our little creative community here at She Creates Studios.